Hi there, this is called the Ignore Trap. It's in the Italian Giuoco piano and it's taken from the thrilling game in 1874 between Knorr, spelt K-N-O-R-R, and Chogorin, the father of the Soviet school of chess. After e4, Chogorin with the black pieces responds e5, and we've got knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4 and bishop c5, the Giuoco piano. The Giuoco piano translates into English as the quiet game, but this is anything but quiet. Here, white chooses castles. c3 perhaps is a little bit more topical, but castles is fine. And after d6, d3. Standard developing moves here, knight f6, bishop g5 comes out and pins the knight on f6. Well, white would certainly like to get the knight from b1 to c3 and then to d5, exerting pressure on that knight. So this bishop on g5 has done a good attacking job so far. However, it itself becomes a target and it gives black something to nibble at with the move h6, hitting the bishop. The bishop wants to keep the pin, so it drops back to h4. But now g5 is playable, hitting the bishop once again and relieving the pin. White really gets nothing with a sacrifice here on g5, winning 2 pawns for a piece, so the bishop drops back now to g3. So black has weakened the kingside pawns. However, Chogorin continues with the move h5, and the pawn is heading for h4. But black now has weakened the g5 pawn and white can capture. White also has another interesting option of playing h4, which leads to complications. In the game, white played knight takes on g5, and that allows the pawn to continue to h4. The bishop on g3 is dropping now, it's going nowhere. However, white also has attacking designs now because the pawn on f7 is being hit twice. So after knight takes on f7, white's already taken 2 pawns. The queen and the rook are both being hit. But incredibly here, Chogorin gives up the queen, doesn't even bother moving the queen, and takes the bishop on g3. So white snaps up the queen, knight takes on d8, and that's answered by the move bishop g4, taking out the last minor piece, which is hitting the white queen. The queen moves up to d2, and what black does not bother recapturing the knight on d8. That's really insignificant in this position. Knight d4 is played. The knight is heading now for e2. That's going to be check. And if the king would then move to h1, rook takes on h2 is checkmate. So black, a queen down, is threatening mate. White could defend with a move h3, and that's perhaps close to equality. However, white can go wrong with an obvious mistake here, knight c3, a natural mistake. The knight on c3 is covering the e2 square. However, black wins by not entering e2, rather now jumping into f3. That's check and queen. If the king moves, rook takes h2 is going to be mate. But what about g takes on f3? Well, on g takes f3, bishop simply responds. The threat now is g takes h2 checkmate. If the pawn itself h takes on g3, then rook h1 is mate. And going back, important to say as well that the pawn on f2 is pinned by the bishop on c5, so he can't help white. White is losing, black is winning. And this has been the Ignore Trap in the Italian Giuoco piano. Thanks for watching. Bye.